Let's get real. Welcome to James Unscripted. Here, we talk about anything and everything about life.
Why, oh why do poor white people vote against themselves time and time again? They vote for Trump and the other MAGA politicians only to have every promise broken, prices go up, social supports evaporate. Here's why. First, remember what I talked about recently, the psychological wage of whiteness. That term was coined by W.E. Du Bois to describe poor white folks being paid with social status rather than decent living conditions. They're convinced by the elites that they're better than black folks, better than immigrants, Latinos, LGBTQ folks. They're convinced that being white puts them in the same league as the elites. Of course, the elites know otherwise, but the poor whites buy it because they're grasping at straws. Second, they are convinced that the people they're supposedly better than are the big threat in their lives. Not the rich, not the corporations or the politicians, but immigrants, black folks, welfare queens, LGBTQ, criminals, the usual scapegoats. Third, the elites promise protection to poor white folks. A politician comes along and says, I'll keep those people in their place, or I'll kick them out, or I'll lock them up. Or more politely, I'll defend your values. They don't say, I'll make your life better. Well, they say it, they just don't mean it. They'll say, I'll make sure they don't get ahead of you. Fourth, they vote for the punishment, not the policy. When a law gets passed that slashes public housing or school funding or food aid, they think, good, that'll stop those lazy freeloaders. And they do some mental gymnastics that make them believe it's worth losing those things for their own families in order to see those problematic black people and immigrants and so forth being punished. It gets to a point where just seeing those guys being punished is reward enough, which is pretty sick, but that's how behavior works. Their housing, schools, and groceries are on the chopping block too, but they blame that on Biden. Always a scapegoat. They get hit by the same policies they were told would punish the others, and they blame the wrong people. The system fails them, but they've been trained to blame the scapegoats, not the cause, which is the rich people, the people they voted for. So they think the problem is still those people, not the fact that they were personally manipulated by the people they voted for. They're basically saying, I'll take the hit as long as you don't help them, or worse, as long as you hurt them. That is the psychological wage Du Bois was talking about, the trade-off between material security for racial status. And that's a crying shame, folks. One share, like, save, and comment shows that you care about white people taking responsibility for racism in America. This work is important to me, and I want to keep doing it. If you want to support me, consider a donation.
So what she said, basically is something that is definitely true of how white people will vote against their own interests. They know, they know that Trump was a bad thing for this country. They know that a lot of Republicans were a bad thing for this country, but they voted anyway because it was a race thing. They did not want to see African Americans and minorities, immigrants, to come up ahead of them. They didn't want this country to thrive, to come better, and make the economy better and there's better jobs and all that, because they really figure it was not going to hurt them. It just want to hurt the immigrants. It just would hurt the minorities. When they was doing all this mad deportation of immigrants, you didn't see white people crying. They was quiet because they enjoyed every bit of it. They enjoyed every bit of it. And then now when they start affecting them, they start losing their jobs, and they start being unemployed, and they can't buy stuff, and it start affecting their lives. Then that's when you start videos going around crying and complaining, and they regret their vote because it affect them. But you even have, still have, you can still have white people today will defend him, and especially token black people will defend him because their lives hasn't been affected yet. And the first video you saw is a guy. He voted for Trump, and I bet he didn't care about nothing in the world till they start affecting him when he lost his job. Now he's crying. And that this woman right here, she broke it down why poor white people will, and I'm gonna put the token black people, and I'm gonna say about the token black people, white people vote against their interests because they thought it's gonna hurt minorities and this is gonna affect black people. See, the object of Make America Great Again is they want to bring slavery back when white people was in total control. That's the goal of Project 2025. That's what you're seeing now, when white people's in total control. They was the law of the land. And we have the token black person who are Trump supporters, who are the bootlickers. They want to be the house nigga. They rather work in the house than work in the fields. That's all it is. So tell me what you think about this video. F around and find out. I'm telling y'all, I'm not letting up on this. And so for y'all white people talk about, I always talk about this. Yes, black Americans will never forget about slavery. We never gonna overlook racism because we see it every day. We walk out the door of our house. Just because you don't experience it, that don't mean it there. Because you take your whiteness as a vanish. Peace.
Thank you for watching James Unscripted. Please like the video, share it, hit that bell notification when you subscribe, and don't forget to drop a comment below.